Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Obviously, something went wrong with the measurements.
Yes.
You received it 14 days prior to your wedding.
No, I didn't receive it 14 days prior before the wedding.
But that wasn't my fault.
This is how it ended up splitting. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Jeremy Lannis claims the wedding suit the defendant rented was returned damaged beyond repair and says he's owed for the value of the item. Mr. Lannis is suing Derek Lemon in the amount of $750.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Mr. Lannis, prove your case, sir.
Hi, Your Honor.
Hi.
This client right here, he bought a suit from me for his wedding.
Yes.
Online, and he basically destroyed it, and I'm suing him for $750, which is the price of the suit here.
Now, are you entitled to the price of the suit versus the cost to repair it?
Well, because it's beyond repair at this point.
Well, this is a tuxedo rental.
Yes.
It's been used before.
Yes, it is.
It has depreciated in value.
Yes, it has.
Where does the $750 come from?
The $750 is more of an average on all of the costs of the actual models and makes you can.
That makes more sense to me. Mr. Lemon, what happened with the suit, sir?
So I used their online website to locate and figure out what suit I wanted. I did some mix and matching, and they have an online calculator that can basically, if you put in your weight and measurement.
Why were you in need of the suit, sir?
Oh, I just got married.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah, so far she's still with me, so.
And you were going to be married in the city that you reside in? Were you going somewhere else? Why the need for online if there's so many places available?
No, we were getting married in New York. My wife.
Are you all based out here in California?
Correct.
All right. Is she from New York?
Yeah, that's where all of her family stays.
And there was the ideal of ordering a tux in New York didn't make sense as opposed to just doing it online.
Yeah, I don't know. She wanted to have this really big, lavish wedding and et cetera. And it's a woman's world, so I was game with it.
Happy wife, happy life.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. And my first wedding, I used a different online tuxedo service, I guess you could say. And I mean, everything was all right, but I mean, I guess I wasn't like super happy with the final outcome. So I did some research and I found his company.
Okay.
Thought it was cool because you could put in your measurements, you can mix and match from different suits and whatnot, and you can make your suit that you wanted, and then they would give you an online calculation of what your sizes would be based on what the information is that you put in. And I did that, and then they also offered a free in-person measuring, and I figured I might as well do it because they had it in LA, and I did that, and
you actually went to a physical brick and mortar location and also tried on the suit.
Yes.
Then what was the purpose of doing everything online?
I guess that was just like the initiation, because I still had to pick the suit and everything and the colors and everything that I wanted.
Oh, I see.
Well, we're primarily online, but we do offer service. We rent out spaces. We have independent contractors.
You just don't have the entire catalog of options.
Exactly. We probably have 50% on site, but a lot of them are big box stores that we rent the space from.
I see. Obviously, something went wrong with the measurements.
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, so my online measurements, they weren't actually obviously correct. I mean, how could they be exactly perfect? When I went in and got my...
I would say, how tall are you, about 6'1" or so? Or?
Yeah, 6'1".
Okay. And because it looks like you're probably about a 38, 40, maybe...
38.
Yeah. And when you typed in 38, long or regular?
It would be long, but I didn't type it in. This is just the online calculation that was given to me.
But aren't they asking you how tall are you? How much do you weigh?
Yeah.
What do you normally wear in a suit size? What's your sleeve size? Because I would imagine it would be somewhere around like a 16 neck, 32, 33 sleeve or 34?
No, they don't ask you what
They don't ask you those type of questions?
No, because it's just an online like calculator. Because I didn't know those. If I knew those, then there wouldn't be a mistake in my measurements.
You don't ask for the typical measurements that people ask
we
for?
do ask for both. There is a whole questionnaire where we ask about like how many meals do you eat a day, how many cups of water. So we try to see how it fluctuates. But we also do like the basic, with the height and the weight, all that stuff. Yes, exactly. But what we do is, the way my company works is 14 days before their date, they get the tuxedo, they get the jacket, whatever. It's shipped to them. It's shipped to them, right to their...
They don't have to come pick it up.
They don't have to come pick it up. It's shipped right to their address.
Okay.
And then in the contract here...
Let me see it.
Here we go. Mm-hmm. It says that within the time that they get the suit or the jacket, they have 48 hours to look at it to see if it doesn't work. And if there's something wrong with it, they send it back, and within another 48 hours, they get the new suit with the right altercations.
Coming up on America's Court.
I went in person and I got it remeasured, and I found out that my online calculations were not correct. But I had every reason to believe that everything was going to be done correctly.
And later.
Other than that email, was there anything put in writing in terms of a business plan? You said he was your business partner.
Yes.
Based on what?
Closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Jeremy Lannis, who is suing Derek Lemon for property damage.
Once you get the product, immediately inspect it and try it on. If it doesn't fit, notify us within 48 hours so we can ship you a replacement item.
Correct.
You read that as a part of the understanding with this contract you entered into?
Yes.
Okay. Did you receive the item?
Like the tux?
Yes.
Yes.
You received it 14 days prior to your wedding?
No, I didn't receive it 14 days prior before the wedding.
But that wasn't my fault.
Is that true?
That is true.
What happened?
Okay, so like I said though, I went in person and I got it remeasured, and I found out that my online calculations were not correct. The person there, and I
Based on the information that you put in?
Yes, but I have a guarantee right here as well.
Yes.
And this says that my measurements were going to be updated immediately, and then I could make my order.
Based on the in-store?
Yes, based on the in-store interaction. So I had every reason to believe that everything was going to be done correctly. And I did that, I got remeasured, and then I made my order. And yeah, I didn't receive it till...
The information I'm seeing here, this was what was done in-store.
Yes.
And then you have this other document, the order receipt, confirming the date and time. And this is how it ended up splitting?
Yeah, that's the day of the wedding.
So you had just tried it on initially?
Well, I tried it on, but like I said, I didn't get to actually put it on till right before my wedding.
He tried it on like the day of the wedding, or the day before, I think.
Let me make sure I'm understanding. The measurements were clearly off if you're splitting through it like the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happened with the in-store measurements?
Well, the person that did the measurements actually forgot to put in, or she didn't put in the right measurements that it was.
So somebody in the brick and mortar store screwed up?
Yes. One of the independent contractors.
You accept that was on your company's part?
Yes, yes.
Was the screw up then sent to him the 14 days before the wedding?
Yes.
What happened when you received the suit?
Okay.
Or the tux?
So I was obviously supposed to receive the tux 14 days before my wedding. And our plan was to leave 13 days before our wedding. Right the day after I got my suit, we were going to fly to New York.
Okay.
Long story short, we had a baker that was making our cake. He ended up backing out because some kind of family emergency. So we changed our flight to leave 3 days before our original departure date. So that would mean that I was going to leave before my tux arrived. I called them to see when my tux was arriving, and I found out that it was already on the way. So there's nothing I really could do. So what I did is I ended up just messaging my best man, and I asked him as soon as my tux comes, if he could just mail it to New York for me. And well, something happened with him. He had like some kind of plumbing issue or ordeal or something, and he ended up just bringing the tux with him. So I actually didn't receive the tux until the day before the wedding. However, I had every reason to believe that it was going to fit me because not only...
Well, here's the thing. You signed an agreement saying, once it's delivered,
Yes.
within 48 hours, let us know, are we good? You never let them know, we're not good. Correct?
Well, I did.
After the wedding. We never knew before the wedding. If there was a problem with it, we would have sent something back right away.
However,
what can they do at that point?
Okay, so like I said, I didn't get the tux until the day before my wedding.
That's not their problem.
I know. I acknowledge that, but it should have been right. I had every reason to believe.
That's not what you agreed to, though. What you agreed to was, I get it 14 days. I'm going to try it on to make sure we're good. And if we're not good, then I'm going to let you know. And because of the situation with the baker of the cake and your best friend, because if the best friend had it, then there's really no reason other than the fact that the best friend had something come up. Mm-hmm. But none of those issues speak to their responsibility and obligation and commitment that they have in writing that you signed off on.
I understand that.
The other groomsmen also ordered from the same company?
Yes.
And they didn't have any problems?
No.
And if they had problems, they would have responded in due time. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, in fact, you even having other groomsmen actually hurts your case because it establishes that they delivered on what they promised. The issue is you didn't deliver on your promise, which is if something happens to this item, I will be prepared to pay the cost of that. It does say you'll be charged a $750 damage fee. $750 goes to Mr. Lannis. That is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $750.
I'm glad that the judge understood that even though there was an error on my part, you can't deny the contract.
I understand that I made a mistake, but so did they. I will not be referring them.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
He clearly does other things that he doesn't like to tell people about.
Okay, well, do you do other things other than focusing on nutrition?
No, I'm a student.
Okay, so you're a student and a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So you do other things.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Caitlin Prugg claims her reputation as a nutritionist was tarnished after her business partner appeared in a fast food commercial. Ms. Prugg is suing Dan Washington in the amount of $2,700.
Ms. Prugg, this $2,700 you feel you're entitled to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Knock my socks off. Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, I'm here today to sue Mr. Washington for $2,700 of lost money from him negligently appearing in a fast food commercial.
He was in a fast food commercial as a performer, as an actor, if you will?
Just, a regular bystander eating a cheeseburger and milkshake.
Right. He was on the actual set and they filmed a commercial.
Yes.
And he's eating a burger, and that was a problem because?
Because we have a business together.
The business involves?
He's actually a personal trainer and I'm the nutritionist.
And together you all have clients that see him for the personal training and you for the nutrition?
Well, sort of.
All right,
so,
break it down to me.
Okay, I was going to say, if I could give you a little backstory on how I met Mr. Washington. So I'm actually a nutritionist, as I said, just graduated. So I'm looking to up my health journey, just get a little, more active.
And make it a business?
Yes, I am actually looking to make it a business.
How long have you been doing personal training, sir?
8 years, Your Honor.
8 years. And do you work out of a club or do you have your own private space? How does it work for you, sir?
Over these years, I've developed enough money to get my own private studio, Your Honor.
All right, you have a studio and you've been able to have maintain your livelihood from a financial standpoint just by doing the personal training, or do you do other things to supplement your income?
No, Your Honor. Personal training is more of a passion for me.
Wait, I'm sorry. You were saying?
He clearly does other things that he doesn't like to tell people about.
Okay. Well, do you do other things other than focusing on nutrition?
No, I'm a student.
Okay, so you're a student and a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So you do other things.
Coming up on America's Court.
She's a client of yours as you're doing personal training.
Correct.
And in the course of personally training her,
yes,
who comes up with the idea of going into business with each other?
Actually, Mr. Washington does.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Caitlin Prug, who is suing Dan Washington for $2,700.
What made you decide to go into business with her?
Well, Your Honor, as she worked with me, I realized that she was really...
In what capacity did she work for you?
She trained with me. And
okay.
As one of my clients, I realized that she was
She's a client of yours as you're doing personal training?
Correct.
And in the course of personally training her...
Yes.
Who comes up with the idea of going into business with each other?
Actually, Mr. Washington does.
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor. I realized that she was really good with nutrition, and that's an element of my personal training background that I'm not as strong in. So
and what was the plan? You would focus on the clients from a personal training standpoint, and then you would refer your clients to her for
program.
Nutrition.
Correct.
All right. And was there any sort of documentation of this business plan, or how you would split profits, or how you all would work together in terms of the marketing?
We did have an email. The email was basically stating that I had a great time with us training. He was a great personal trainer and motivated me for my nutrition program.
Believe it or not, there's hundreds of others like that.
Yeah, until
Wait a minute.
now.
Other than that email, was there anything put in writing in terms of a business plan? You said he was your business partner.
Yes.
Based on what?
Based on our email we had.
Your Honor, if I may,
does anyone have a copy of the email?
We both have a copy of the email.
Let me see the email. Yes. Because the whole premise is he's my business partner and he sabotaged my business. Well, if the business agreement is based on an email, what are you studying in school, ma'am?
Nutrition.
Okay. You're saying you're starting your own nutrition program. You're not going to be working with him anymore. You need to devote more time to that. Mm-hmm. He says, great, that's awesome. Proud of you for taking this leap. I have an idea. We can act as each other's brand ambassadors. And that's the extent of the business arrangement?
Yes.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by... This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
It doesn't make sense at this point that because you all had email exchanges and that you did in fact refer her some clients, right?
Correct.
And you did get paid from those clients, yes?
No.
You didn't, because after they saw the commercial, they said, I don't want to do business with you?
Yes, and I had to refund
Well, I thought you gave me a breakdown of $300.
Yes, each client paid $300
So
for
initially
my
you
program.
did have a relationship with them and they paid you monies.
Yes. But I have a 30-day refund.
And they said, now that we've seen this commercial, we don't want to work with you.
Yes.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant. You have the burden of proving that there was a business relationship with this gentleman. Your emails don't provide that. You can't operate business this way. Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I'm not responsible for people jumping to conclusions, and I hope she learned that.
I wish she would have thought about how his actions affected me, but in the future, I'll think about who I do my business with.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.